Hello, it's Ecom Rebel. What's happening, everyone? We are back again tonight. I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter than the last few nights, and the reason is we've got in the course that my good friend NG Gavin teaches. Basically, every week we do what would you call it? A webinar as such. It's a get together where usually it fills out. We run out of room, but normally we get 12 people on. We talk sort of question answer, talk about what we're doing with ICOs, talk about what's upcoming and different strategies and some of the wins we've had. And this has been going on a while now. I think we could be up to maybe week 16 or something like that. That starts shortly, so I need to make sure I'm finished up before that starts. So I'm going to try and get some questions answered before then. And then I'm going to jump onto that and we'll do that for an hour or so. So that's quite good. So if you want to learn more about that and the ICOs, you can always check the link out below. And that's how I got started with ICOs, and definitely a great course. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's draw the winner from our last one, our last live stream. So let's have a look here. Hey Carlo, how you doing, mate? Now, if you got any questions and you are on the live stream, like Carlo is, you can ask a question and I will do my best to answer it in the time we have. All right, so let's jump on the last one I did yesterday. Let's choose a winner from that one. Hopefully we've got a good question. Let's pick a winner. Jason Dock. So now he's won last time before, not like the last one, but I think a couple of times ago, which is fantastic. So he's following, he's subscribing, he's done everything right, and here he is getting some more Bitcoin Cash. So how exciting for that. So, and he's got a good question too. Which exchange is good for starters? So I'm going to answer that, but I'm going to make sure we transfer some coin for Jason. So let me do that now. Okay. I'll just close that down for a second. Jump back into here and I'll put that address in. Now at the moment I'm running off my PC and that's where I'm doing my live streaming from. You would have known I had yes, congratulations, Jason. Yeah, that's exactly right. Well done. So I'm just going to pay him off my other computer. I'll do that now. Just give me a second. I'll just do that off screen. Now, when Jason receives this, I'd really like for you to reply to say that you've received the Bitcoin Cash. So I'm going to transfer that now. And as you know, I use the Exodus wallet. I think that's a really good wallet to use. Just going to paste in that now. I'm going to send roughly, it's $13 Australian, which is roughly $10. Might be a little bit out, but it's close enough. So the good thing about that is we're only paying 3 cents for that transaction, which is exciting. I'm just going to send that now. So 13, blah, blah, blah. That looks good. Yes, send. So that should be on its way. Yes, that's going now. Excellent. All right, so that's done. Let's get that out of the way. So now, his question was about what what exchange to get on. What's an easy one? Now, I'll just talk from experience. I've been on this one here, which is Bittrex. Bittrex, I'll get the right spelling. Here we go. This one here, Bittrex, BITTREX.com. So this was one of the first lot that I got started with. It was Bittrex. This is a US-based one. Another one I originally got in was Poloniex. This one here, POLONIEX.com. That was another exchange, which is very, I'm not recommending these right now, but these are the ones I started with. They're pretty easy to go through and sign up. What was the third one? I can't think of the third one at the moment. I might think of it shortly. That was 2, and I signed up with one other one. Now, I've been using this for a long time, and I've since changed. I've since changed to Binance, which you may have heard me talk about before. I've put a link in the below in the comments. So Binance, because if you use it, it's up to you, but I have an affiliate link for that. It's only a very small amount of money, but for transactions. But you can sign up through that link if you want to support me. And of course, you'll have the opportunity as well, if you refer any of your friends or anyone you know to sign up. Only do that if you think it's a worthwhile platform. So this is Binance, and basically you've got the USD. These are the tether markets in Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB. BNB is actually the Binance coin. Okay, so Binance has their own coin, and it's similar. I spoke to this before. It's basically allows you to trade using that coin instead of using, say, Tether, for example. So it means that once you get into that coin, you're then exposed to trading the other coins, which makes sense. So this happens on a few different exchanges. I mean, yeah, if you're not really happy with Tether or you're concerned about Tether, you don't have to use that. But it's got the main markets there. Then you've got your ETH markets for Ethereum. And then if you want to use Bitcoin, you can trade all these ones here. There's quite a lot. And BNB, which is the Binance coin, they're all the ones you can trade. So and it's a great platform, and this is really, it's got like a basic thing. You just click up here and go basic. So this is what I'd recommend, getting started with. It's really simple to sign up. I think you can get from memory, it was like maybe 1 or 2 BTC a day you can withdraw without really an identification, just a normal email. So that's good. And then, of course, if you put identification, you can do more than 2 BTC a day withdraw out. So basically, this is the format. You've seen some videos maybe previously that I've done for trading. I've actually done some trades where I was selling out of some of the ICOs. So yeah, I would recommend getting into this. Now, I don't have my phone with me at the moment, but you can actually get the Binance app on, for example, iPhone. I haven't tried it on any of the other platforms. I've got iOS. Now, that app would have to be the best app I've ever used on mobile for trading. Like, I just can't. I've seen some really bad apps for trading, like totally useless, but this app is incredible to use. So whether you're on your desktop or whether you're on your iOS platform, you essentially have got all that information there. You can trade, you can see the prices, market depth, charts, pretty much everything. So there's a few features you don't have on iOS or on mobile, but most of the time with it does all the things that you need to do. So that's pretty exciting. I would like to see them put maybe alarms or something like in there so they can tell you when prices hit that. Maybe they'll bring out that later. I don't know. So yeah, I would recommend that. As I said, a lot of people are leaving Bittrex Poloniex because there's new rules and regulations that they're bringing into the States, and they're sort of cracking down on crypto a little bit. And yeah, they're just trying to, well, like they do everything. They want to interfere and make sure they can tax you, and they just want to control. Okay, and this is what institutions do. And also the people involved in this space that already have got billions and billions of dollars they're making, they don't want this thing called crypto or this thing called Bitcoin to come in and start taking money out of their pockets. So that's what they're concerned about, and so that's why they try and make it more difficult. And you'll find you'll have to declare to the tax office how much you earn and all that sort of stuff through these trades, which I believe is Trump was trying to do for the US. But you know what happens is people transfer their funds out of these platforms, go into something Binance, which I think is in Hong Kong, and that jurisdiction doesn't apply. Of course, there's some little rules and regulations about that. Whether you're a US citizen and your worldwide income, you'd have to look in that for yourself. But at the moment where I am, this doesn't apply to me, so I can trade here, and I like this. So I've moved most of my trading funds over. So this is a really good platform. I hope that answers your question about what exchange, and this would be exchange for trading as opposed to any other type of exchanges. few maybe different, like you might be able to exchange coins. Maybe that's what you mean. This does that as well, but if you're looking for something simple, you would like say use Exodus. And in Exodus, they have a thing called exchange in there, and it's swapping one coin for another. Okay, and you can do that. So hopefully that answers your question. I appreciate that, and thanks for your support. All right, I've got some more questions here. Carlo said, left a question is there too. Binance is widely used exchange. Sadly, Binance stopped accepting new users. I don't know about that. You have to do. I haven't actually heard about Binance stop accepting new users. I thought it was some of the other ones like Bittrex and that weren't doing that. Interesting. Yes, USI Tech left the US market. Well, that's probably something to do with it, Carlo. Yeah, good point. So I'm not sure about Binance stop accepting new users. I haven't seen anything about that at all. If you have a link, drop it in below, because I haven't read the article about whether or not accepting new people. Oh, what's this? Binance will temporarily disable new user registrations. There it is. I just found it. Let's have a look. Due to overwhelming, we're going to disable it. When was this? 5th. Interesting. 4 days ago. Okay. Binance reopens. They reopen limited user registration 2 hours ago. So we have some new news. This is good because I wasn't aware of it, but now I am. So we're pleased to announce they've reopened limited users. This was 2 hours ago. Only a limited number of new registrations per day. Plus the referral rate now has been adjusted to 20%. I think it was 50% before. They did say that they could change it at any time. Selling accounts is forbidden. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so they're taking... So what it means is you might have to wait to get into Binance. That's how popular it is. So I'd say they're doing it because they want to make sure that, you know, they don't have what happened to some of the other platforms where so many users came on that they just couldn't cope with the amount of users. So this will be interesting to see what happens with that. Let me know how you go. If you do sign up using my link, let me know how long it takes you to get in and maybe what the process is. I'd be interested to hear about that. Okay, I think that's Cryptopia. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Now we'll have a quick look at the news, what's happening, and we'll have a look at the market. So it was interesting, the market today. I remember Bitcoin before was up to about 17,000. It's now at 15,521, and Ethereum was 1,100. Ripple's take 21%. Bitcoin Cash down 18. Cardano down 8. NEM hasn't moved much, down -1. And then Litecoin's down 14, 15%. Stellar down a bit. So it's actually quite a red market there. Quantum, Bitcoin, Gold down 38 and 25%. That's expected. These have had big rises. So this is what happens. You get in at the wrong time. Be prepared for 38, 40, 50, 60% retracement on this stuff. Icon, I think, had a massive day, 22%. Ome say go. And, they've had a good move. Populous, so we're getting down a bit now. But essentially, we've had a bit of a red day there. As you can see, just on the charts, it did go up a little bit, and then a lot of these have come back today. So, that was interesting to see that. But this is why you might want to spread some of your risk in different coins. So, for example, if you were holding Ripple, you'd be down 20% today. But if you spread it out over a different amount of coins, like if you were just holding Bitcoin, you'd be down 10. So that's the sort of exposing yourself to a few different coins helps when the market moves up and down. Obviously, it fluctuates and it takes time to build a portfolio of different coins, but that helps immensely. All right, so now I haven't prepared too many questions, but I'll try and answer a couple more. We're at, let's see what time we're at now. We're about 15 minutes in. I want to just go back to some of the questions that we had previously. Let's have a quick look. Okay, so exchanges, yeah. What do I think? How high will Bitcoin go? Jack W, 18 hours ago. Okay, so Jack W, I think, how high will Bitcoin go? There's a lot of people saying where they think the market's going to go with this. We've heard, it's been at 20,000. We've heard 50,000. We've heard 100,000. We've even heard like $1 million. It's all relative to Bitcoin maintaining its dominance at the moment. It's quite the lowest it's ever been, 34. But let's assume that this stays this rate. Okay, we're at the market rate at 749 billion. So what you've got to look at is if 10 times the money comes into, if let's say we move to 1 billion and then we move to trillion. We're up to trillion shortly. If we move to 1 trillion and then 10 trillion, which is quite massive, you're going to see this price increase like double. So, and you basically look at the market cap that was previously, see where the price was, and that's one way to sort of estimate where it will be. But we don't know. Like, it just depends on the market as a general. If the money keeps flowing into Bitcoin and then down into the other alts, we could see, like last year I think it was 10x. We could easily see 10x again this year. It just depends on the adoption of basically the rest of the world. But I think we've got to this point where it's going to continue. With the number of people that know about it, and more people know about crypto. So I think we're going to see minimum 10x on Bitcoin. It might end up at 100,000 at the end of the year. Who knows? But, things happen. Something could happen to Bitcoin. Maybe the fees are going to get ridiculous and people just stop using it and it loses dominance and then just slowly starts going down the ladder. And maybe some of these other coins will then take its place and take the fair share of the market cap that's going into it. So at the moment everything is geared around Bitcoin, but as you can see, exchanges they're into ETH. Like for example, when you're in Binance, those markets that are there are against Ethereum, Bitcoin, Tether, and BNB. So there's like three, and the second to that would be ETH. And as markets add these extra pairs, that means essentially that you don't need Bitcoin to trade, or you don't need Ethereum to trade. You can just use BNB to trade these other coins or some other coin. So that is going to happen more out in the marketplace with different exchanges. And so, and that's going to mean less reliance on the money coming into Bitcoin. Because what happens now is the easiest and first thing people get is Bitcoin. It's the first thing they hear about. It's the first thing they want to buy and get into. And then once they've got that, they move into the alts. And that's normally the process for people. But sooner or later, it's going to be easy to buy any of the coins. People are going to hear about other coins as well as Bitcoin. And they may decide to get in Ethereum as a preference to Bitcoin, or might get into Bitcoin Cash over Ethereum or Bitcoin. So these are the things you look at. And just because it's been dominant for some time, if another coin gets more integration out there and becomes more useful, it's going to take number one spot, because this will be a dinosaur and the other ones are going to come through and take over. Don't know how long that's going to be, and we're not sure exactly when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen. But these are the things to be aware of. All right, so we'll have a quick look at some of the comments. Will Ethereum replace Bitcoin as the number one crypto? Yeah, so very similar to what I just said before with Jack. Yes, it could, because Ethereum is pretty useful, and Bitcoin is simply a coin. Some people see it as holding value, but originally it was to do transactions. No one held on to it. No one was like, oh, we're going to make lots of money out of Bitcoin by holding on to it. It was more like, we're going to use Bitcoin. We need to do a transaction. We need to send something to the other side of the planet or wherever we want to. We want to transfer that value to them, and we want to get something back for them usually. Or if you don't, you can just send it one way. It doesn't matter. It's been able to make those transfers, hardly cost any funds to do that. And it was just, you didn't need any intermediaries to do that. So that was the thing that made Bitcoin, so good at that. But now there's so many other ones that are doing it. Plus, like Ethereum, they has a lot more to offer with what it does with the smart contracts. So, yeah, who knows? Ethereum might overtake that, like the market. It just might happen this year. All right, so we'll just go back to the live to see if there's any more comments. Open that up in a new tab so we're not jumping back and forward. It started a little bit earlier, so there's a few people probably not on. ETN moved down a bit. I think you're referring to Electroneum. Yes. So a lot of people got on board with Electroneum. It's down 12%. And it's had, if we have a quick look at the chart, just recently, you were looking at about 8 cents, and now it's moved into 16 cents. So it's doubled in this time range from December, and it was about 7 cents and right down to 5 cents only about a month ago. And if you go back a bit further, back in November, you're looking at 2-3 cents. Go back a little bit further. Now I think it did start off, with 9 cents. So it has in the past when it first listed. If you got into that, then it did completely die off a lot, and then for a month or two it stayed about the same. So it's picking up again. It just depends on whether they get out there and it becomes useful for people, and they keep on doing everything they need to do. Like this one, they signed up a telecommunications payment, Giant XIUS, and you can read all this information here. So they, while they keep on moving forward, I think with any project, it's going to increase the value, and if people see value in it, they're going to put their money into it. So yeah, that did move down a little bit today. Let's have a look at some more comments. John Brown says your videos are very useful. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Glazed Grass, nice man, really informative. Thank you. Thank you, Let a Spider. Xperio, thank you. Also note, if you put it in here twice, it does not help you. See how you got the same thing here. When I do the when I pick the comments, it picks up on that. And that's not going to help you win anymore. And if I see it, you won't win. So don't put it twice, okay? Especially on the 2 different users. That's just been ridiculous. Alex, is it worth it to cloud mine Bitcoin? Yes, it is. I think I'm not sure if I've got a link there below with Genesis mining. I'll have to check that. I might have a link there before. But there's basically with Genesis mining, you buy a contract for hash power. It's like if you were to have your own if you have your own mining rig. If you buy the gear, let's say you buy it from Bitmain, you set up the rig, set up the power unit, you set up a place, and you do your mining. You're going to pay that cost electricity to running, and then you put you get it online, and you basically mine, okay? And you can join a pool and use that mining power. Alternative to that, you can get into things like Genesis mining, where they're the ones with all the equipment. They need the money to invest in that equipment, and so you're paying a contract for a time frame to buy a certain hash rate, how much power you're going to use. And essentially the idea behind that is you pay at a fixed amount of money. It doesn't come up. These contracts don't come up all the time, so you've got to be prepared for when they do. And when they do, you just select your hash rate. You do 2 years, and once you pay that lump sum, and then essentially every day you'll get payouts, and there's calculators to work out how long at the set rate for whatever you're mining to see when you actually get back. At some point, however many days, it's going to it'll tell you when you actually made profit. You actually made back your what you outlaid, and then essentially after that you're making profits. So that's something definitely worthwhile. I know a bunch of people that have been mining for heaps now. for a long time, and once you make that payment, you're getting these regular payments, and it's a great thing. And Genesis Mining, as far as I can tell, it's as legitimate as they are for mining operations. There's other ones that pretend to be mining operations, but are Ponzi schemes. You've got to be careful of that. But as far as I'm aware, they're legit and they're a real mining operation. All right, so let's see if we've got any more questions. Do you think ETN will hit up when it opens another exchange? Yes. That's usually what happens when you open up markets to new people. So see right now, ETN is on Cryptopia. You have a look at the volume, okay? This is the kind of volume here. So what happens is if you study other, basically other coins, when they hit other markets, you're actually opening up that coin is now available for all those people that are on that market. So something like Binance or something like that, with all the users that they have that are onboarding, some of like the huge exchanges. So if they hit one of those, that opens up that coin to those people that couldn't buy it, or maybe they didn't want to go to Cryptopia, they just wanted to wait for it to come to the exchange. You'd be surprised. So when this hits other exchanges, like especially big exchanges, yeah, the price moves up because more people are available to get it, and when they can get it, some of the people don't sell and the price rises. So that's generally what happens. Doesn't always happen. Some people dump because it just depends. Like if it's a bad project, maybe the whales have already got in at the ICO and then they dump out when that gets to a decent exchange. But in this case, it would have already dumped out on Cryptopia because they would have they dumped at that level. If they didn't dump, then you'd be you'd be waiting for maybe the next exchange, and they never really tell you when exchanges are going to happen. You just got to be prepared and wait out the time. So yes, that's a very good point. What do we got? So what do I think about Monero? Haven't had much to do with Monero. I wouldn't mind getting some. I would have to, at the moment, I'd have to change wallets to put the Monero in. So if you're not familiar with Monero, for some of you out there, basically it's a privacy coin. There's a few privacy coins. And this is a Monero. Getmonero.org is where you need to go to. And it's basically a private digital currency. There's a few like this, but these are, Monero is well known for being a good one, and definitely a lot of people are going to move to these digital currencies because it's hard to track who actually has, funds, and then who has the coin, and secondly, what's happening with the transactions. And it makes it very difficult for anyone to know, and a lot of people will be moving to these. So you'll hear a lot of people talk about these privacy coins and how they're going to go up over time, and that is definitely the case because the more funds people have, the more they want to keep it private from people. So yeah, and just to give you an idea where they are on the list, there's Monero at number 13, and we're at $6 billion at the moment, $385. So down 20% today. These, I can't see any reason why these won't continue because they've got a great community. They're going to keep on, keep on improving their product, and more people are going to be exposed to them and use that product. So, it's pretty good. As far as using Monero, I actually don't know many places that use it to buy things like that. I've never used Monero to buy. Of course, you can if once the platform's accepted. I think what will happen in the future is there'll be something out there, some sort of service that someone will offer, a blockchain service, and essentially you'll be able to use any coin you want, and you'll be able to make that transaction pretty much instantaneously. Someone will do this service. If it does, I haven't seen it existing yet, but you'll be able to use any coin, and you'll be able to use that coin at the time of transaction, and this essentially you'll be able to pay for anything that you want now, and it might be just through one blockchain service on ICO that does it. I'm not sure, some project, but I think that has a lot of value in that, because when otherwise you've got to change your coin, you exchange it into Litecoin, or you change it into Bitcoin because that's the most accepted, but you lose out on fees. So I think sooner or later we're going to see all these coins, they're going to be integrated in such a way that you'll be able to use like a payment processor, and merchants will be able to accept all these coins, and it'll make it easier for them to do that. So I think that will happen. And so the privacy coins are definitely something to look at. What else? I think that covers about it. How much time we got? Let's have a quick look. We're at half an hour. I think I've got to finish up now. So if you got any last questions, hit me up right now on live chat. I'll just check the live chat on here. Here we go. Can't see that there. That's okay. Let's go back to here. Anything else? No, that's nothing. No other questions. So that's fine. I'll just see if there's any other thing there. Cryptboy says, please tell us about your portfolio, which altcoins you're most interested in. I probably don't have enough time to go through all that tonight. What altcoins I'm most interested in? Well, I'm mainly interested in ICOs, which I'm not going to talk about too much at all. Mainly because I talk about it when we're in our Slack group. After you do the course, you get into the Slack group and you talk about all the ICOs that are upcoming. And as you know, ICO Drops is a place where you can check out the upcoming ICOs. And yeah, basically every week, which is why I got to get off the live call now to get onto this other one, we basically do question and answer, what we're doing, okay? And just to give you an idea of some of the idea why you would get into ICOs, is that this is just some recent ICOs, okay? Tron is at 90x at the moment. Icon is at 88. These are some huge, returns. So even if you had put in, let's go all the way down to here, ETHLAN. If you had got in at ICO stage on ETHLAN and now you're at 20x, that would mean that, let's say you put $1,000 into that ICO, you'd be sitting pretty on 20 grand. You made about $19,000 profit. And it's insane. I know quite a few people in our group basically have got into Tron, and they also got into Icon. And they got them at the ICO price was 11 cents, and the price now is $10. So it's nearly towards 100x. As you can see, not too long ago we had 100x, and some of these people put in a good amount of coin into here, and they are set. Like, these are just home runs for these guys. So that's what the kind of stuff you'll learn when you're part of the group. So check out the link below if you want to learn more about ICOs. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you there, because I'm just about to jump on now. So I'm going to finish up, and I will talk to you soon. I'll actually see you tomorrow night. Don't forget, put your Bitcoin Cash address in after this live stream, and it gets posted onto YouTube and Facebook. Make sure you put the ask a question or make a comment, and I'll make sure I answer that or read it out on the show. So just do that, and then I'll be back tomorrow night and go from there. Okay, good chat. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.